Hey, welcome to Refocused Radio. Once again, we are here today, and just like any other time, we have another special guest for y'all. Today, we're going to talk about not just fitness, but also about health. And we have our special guest, Angela Beyer. She is turned from banker to becoming Miss Universe, and she also is on her journey helping others to achieve their health goals. You have opportunity to not just learn about what her story is all about, but also everything that she's doing with health. Go to her website real fast. Bookmark it. Mental note is houseofshape.com. She has books out. She has resources that you can dive into. But before we do that, we want to just welcome her to the show first and say, how you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing really well. How about you?
Doing awesome. I appreciate you being on today. So, before we get started, kind of share with us a little bit about your professional life, because, like I said in the intro, you went from banker to becoming amazing superstar in Miss Universe. Kind of give us the backstory on that journey.
Yeah, it's interesting in life if you don't live your authentic life and if you don't do the things you're supposed to do, you hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. And that's what happened to me. And in my banking life or career was very high intense. I didn't have the right relationship. Like everything was difficult and heavy for me. And it's not funny, heavy, and I got into bodybuilding, but that's how it was. And when your life is out of control, you try to control the simple things. And what happened to me was I started controlling my food intake too much. I started overtraining. I never did the right things, so to speak, until I got real health issues. I just jumped from one diet to the next. And long story short, I ended up in a hospital, and that was my wake up call. And I decided there to actually get the education, get the knowledge, and change my life, which I did. But again, if you're not changing it authentically, you hit roadblock and roadblock and roadblock. And I was in a very abusive relationship at the time. So what I did, I stopped everything. I quit my job, broke up with my boyfriend, and I literally moved to a different country. And I decided to take just a like long-term break kind of thing, like not long-term, 3 months to learn English and then come back refreshed and were able to think about what I want to do with my life. And I went to United States, fell in love with the country, and I wanted to stay. So after my English course, I got an internship at a bank. Again, same mistake. I went to the thing, what was comfortable to me, what I knew, but not to the thing what I supposed to. And that would have been, or that would have included stepping out of my comfort zone, and I wasn't ready yet. So during that time, I talked to my immigration lawyer and I said, hey, I want to stay. I want a work visa. How do I get this? And yada, yada. And my immigration lawyer said, there's no way as a banker that you can stay in the United States because you have no special skills. They don't need you. They don't want you. You have to go back to Germany. And I'm like, okay, so I don't have special skills at a banker. That's true. But I can lift things up and put them down really well. I'm really good at bodybuilding. So she said, okay, if you can get a world champion title for the United States, you can get a green card. And I thought at the beginning she was joking. But no, no, that was like a legit way to do it. And I'm like, well, it's a stretch, but I have nothing to lose. So I'm going for it. I cleaned up my diet. I tightened up my workouts a lot. Like I trained a lot. And I prepped for Miss Physique at the Miss Florida show. Like that's where you start at the state competition. And I won Miss Florida, got qualified for Team USA, competed at a Miss USA show, won Miss USA. I was able to represent the United States at the Miss Universe show and got the Miss Universe title for the States. And that's how I got my green card.
Wow.
That was the moment where I said, okay, enough of banking. I need to stop the nonsense and I have to do what I'm meant to do. And I'm really good at sculpting bodies, and I'm really good at scanning them and seeing what needs to be changed or worked on to create a certain physique. And that's how I started out. And the longer I was in the business, I saw that in order to have a certain physique, you have to follow certain health, how can I say, guidelines. And if you want to be healthy, you create the perfect body. So it goes hand in hand. And that's when I got more into the creating a health plan or a self-care plan for clients in order to enjoy their life. And that's how I created my business. Yeah.
And you're still going strong because not only did you do that, but you've been featured in multiple magazines and news outlets, and you've been working with high level athletes and CEOs, executives. So my next question would be: once you started to put your brand out there and build momentum, I mean that's one heck of a story to start out with, but it's another story to endure the business life world. What was it like to be able to not just work with high profile people, but also to continue that value system with your services?
It's interesting because I think just my values, what I do for myself, that's what I duplicate in my business, and that's what I teach or train or coach my clients in. And I I have my routines, I have my habit stacks. I am always very well prepared, and I love my routines. If you know me, you know exactly at what time, what day I'm doing what. If you are like one of my clients, you know, oh, she's at that time, she's working out. At that time, that's when she eats. At that time, she has clients. Like I'm love my routines and my habit stacks. And that's what I recreate with my clients to give them actually more freedom. And that's how I built my business. Yeah.
You have a lot of resources on your website. And by the way, you listen to Refocused Radio, watching us online, talking to our guest today, Angela Beyer. You can go to her website, houseofshape.com. I mean, you have resources for brides who are preparing for their wedding day. You have resources for online course for people who are just trying to lose body fat. Explain what was the process for you in deciding, okay, this is what the market is responding to, and these are the things I can provide to help them with their goals.
Mhm. Very good question. And what happened was the clients actually found me, and that's when I started tailoring my programs too. So I started out with, it's interesting, helping everybody. And by the end of the day, I was helping nobody. It sounds so bizarre. And then when I started actually dialing it into programs, like you said, for example, getting a bride ready for her special day. So what I do is I help women to get to a certain event in shape. So they show me their dress and I get them ready to fit in their dress. And these are very different programs because this is like usually shorter time, 12 weeks, and I have to get them ready for a certain day. Now, I have clients, for example, they get ready for a tummy tuck as well. I get them ready for a surgery. That's a different preparation or different program. And this is tailored to actually get them as strong and healthy as possible in the best shape, what they can be for that surgery. And then again, I have a self-care plan where people are interested in getting ready for their retirement and creating a healthy lifestyle where they say, okay, I accumulated all this wealth. Now I want to make sure that I'm healthy to enjoy all that wealth. So I make sure that everything in their lifestyle is put in the right place so they can enjoy, how can I say, not only a very long lifespan, also a very long health span. So these are basically my pillars. And it got created by actually the need of clients, and then I dialed it in and I created those programs to help those specific groups. That's how it happened. Yeah.
Once again, listen, watching us on Refocused Radio and talking to our guest today, Angela Beyer. Go to her website, housewithshape.com. When you look at the lives you've been able to not just change, but this is something where you're giving them uh, a solution, a system for them to continue that change. So maintaining a healthy lifestyle, maintaining healthy weight loss and losing body fat that can be damaging to their health. What are some of the tools, even though everyone's different story, that you try to help people to understand that once I'm done with you, this is some of the things you can put in play as you are trying to maintain that lifestyle?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So again, what I do with my clients is creating habit stacks. And you said it so perfectly. Everybody's different. So individuality is so important. And if I can create any plan and I can tell you it will work, but if the person cannot execute it, they won't reach their goal. So it's very important to listen to the client, what their lifestyle is, and really build the plan around their life. And everything is possible. This is the beauty of this whole fitness and health industry, that there's always, how can I say, a way to get you where you want to be. And what you have to notice or acknowledge in that space as well, there is no perfect solution. There are always trade-offs, meaning, oh my gosh, there are hundreds and thousands of different diets out there. And most of them I tried and I felt them and I lived through them. But there's always a trade-off. If you do one thing, you will miss out on another thing. And this is the dance. And this is why a coach is important. And we're doing the dance and we adjust and we see what the person's need is in that moment. So you gotta listen to the client. And so when you got the person there, creating rituals or habits around that and continue and, how can I say, build a foundation so they can repeat that over and over and over again. And then when there is an issue or a change in their life, and to be honest with you, just by changing, like just getting older, we are changing. So we have to make adjustments. Hormones are changing. For women, a little bit more dramatically than for men. Men, it's a little bit more gentle, the decline, than for women. Women have more steps in them. And making those adjustments, you gotta have a coach where you can speak openly, a person you trust. And then, like I said, always make the changes necessary to continue the journey. And listen to your body all the time and check in and be able to be flexible. Like I said, you gotta know how to pivot and make it work. And it's never one plan for the rest of your life. Never. It's always changing. So that's the sure thing. It will always change.
And like we said, learning how to pivot, because part of that is how we eat as well. And on your website, you have a recipe book that people can have the opportunity to go through. If you can tell us what that name of the book is and how can they get access to that?
Yeah. If you join the Facebook group and if you just put in a recipe, then I will send you the recipe book. And why, like, I have a muscle-centric approach. For me, having healthy muscle is, I think, the key component for health. Muscle is the organ of longevity, and people don't understand that. And we are too much focused on losing body fat, but you can do this only if you have healthy muscle tissue. So the recipe book is all high protein recipes, because I want to make sure that the person actually triggers muscle protein synthesis by having a robust protein meal. and also to always provide the building blocks the whole time, all the time, to keep the muscle healthy. So that's like one key element, and I want my clients and people who join my Facebook group to have access to it.
You've been listening and watching Refocused Radio, talking to our guest today, Angela Beyer. Go to her website, houseofshape.com. When you see the opportunities of working with your clients, let's focus on the older generation, because as people age, like you said moments ago about the importance of muscle, healthy muscle is not just about losing fat, but maintaining the ability to use the muscles. When you look at the older generation of people, what are some of the things that you see? Everyone's different, but do you see them taking as a beginner, maybe someone who hasn't worked out barely their whole life as far as being an athlete, but they're very interested in maintaining the muscle ability that they have left?
Yeah, so actually sarcopenia, the loss of muscle, starts in your 30s, starts very early. And what we want is maintain as much as we can. The beauty of a muscle is that you can build it at any age. So it's never too late. It's different with bone. Bone has a harder time to get more dense. So really you have to build the bone when you're young and then maintain as much as you can. Muscle you can build all the time, and it will help your bones as well. But with the training part, and this is where women have a harder time with, is you gotta do resistance training, strength training. I want them to lift heavy weights. And also with older clients, I want you to grab the heavy weights, not the small little dumbbells. You want to stimulate the muscle and create a flux in the muscle so the metabolism can work. And you want the muscle to overload a little bit to be able to grow it and make it stronger. And you should not shy away from heavy weights. It's always a scary thing when I say go heavy, and I'm not throwing you into a powerlifting ring and say, let's do some cleans. So we work our way up, but it's progressively overloading. So we continue to increase the weight, and it doesn't really matter at what age. You just got to start, and starting now is the best way, and work your way up. Mm-hmm.
So that would be my next question for those in their 30s who they're not scared to lift or anything like that, but they want to, like you said, make progress. They want to challenge themselves and not overdo it. So for someone who is ready to get started on that, we all know that form is very important in when we are lifting weights or anything, but someone who's a beginner, what's some of the things that they can start out with as a beginner, just to make sure that they're on the safe side and not overdoing it based
Yeah,
on what they can handle?
yeah, very good question. Again, depending on what your baseline is, some people have to start out with their body weight, which is heavy and difficult for them. And you said it so well. You have to have the right form. And at the beginning, what we do is actually create the neural pathways, a muscle-mind connection to the movement itself and to the muscle, what you're working. I want you to do the exercise and literally know, okay, I'm feeling when you do a chest press, the chest muscle. When I do a lat pull down, the back muscle. So it's more a training of connecting and understanding what you're doing. And then we can actually work our way up with weights. And it's important to actually get that foundation right from the get-go, so we don't have to try to get the form better and already have heavy weights and you hurt yourself or injured joint or whatever. So that's why it sounds, yeah, I want you to start slow and work your way up. It's so important to have a good base.
When people are watching this and listening to this, like I said, and like you've been able to say throughout the interview, that everyone is at a different level. You're either an expert at this or you're just beginning. If someone wants to connect and book a call with you to learn about more resources that you offer and where they can see themselves being a good fit as a client, what's the structure you provide for potential clients and how they can have a discovery call with you?
Yeah, they can go on my website, House of Shape, and schedule a consultation, or you can actually message me on social media and I will connect with you that way as well.
Do you have different classes and work groups as far as like someone who might be a seasoned athlete and they just kind of want someone to keep them in line and keep them like accountability partner versus someone who might just be brand new? Is there different levels of courses that people can explore as well?
So what I do, I have a membership site, and that's more like accountability coaching, where you will see me once a week and you can ask me questions. And then I have like my one-on-one coaching program where I meet with you one-on-one, and we actually dial in goal setting. We do the diet, we work on a workout plan, and then we can actually do, depending on how much you want to spend, workout sessions together, or you do your workouts and we have the one-on-one check-in weekly where I see where you at, what the numbers are, and you don't have to think anything. I'll take care of you and I'll do the numbers for you. I do the workout plan, the diet plan, and you just rock and roll.
Once again, listen to Refocused Radio and watch us online. You can visit our guest, Angela, her website, houseofshape.com. In a few minutes we have left, let's talk about the year, man. This year has blown by so fast. And you know what happens? It happens every January. So in 2025, people going to say, new year, new me. What would be your advice to someone who's really serious about like joining this whole journey of being healthier, a better person as far as their fitness and if they have to lose body weight or just maintain muscle or gain muscle?
Yeah.
Someone that's saying right now, hey, new year, new me, what word of encouragement, advice would you give that person to stick with that idea?
Mhm. Actually, you said it so beautifully, like have an accountability coach. So motivation gets you only so far. And most of the time, it gets you maybe 1 month into January and February, you're going to struggle a little. And the thing is, like I said, the motivation is a good start, but you have to create the discipline.
Yeah.
And again, with an accountability coach or a trainer, with set appointments, you know you have to show up, you create habits. And when you get into the lifestyle and when you see the results, you will continue. But there's always that moment. And like I said, and like you said, most of the time it's not far after January 1st, like in January or February, where people fall off the wagon. And that's where you need somebody where you have to be accountable for. So, yeah.
Well, first of all, the story behind you being in the fitness world is truly sounds like a movie. Like that can be a movie right there. That's pretty not just impressive. That's awesome. And for the fact that you've been able to use this as a platform to work with elite athletes and executives and being featured all these publishings and outlets. Have you ever looked and said, wow, like this is pretty crazy what I've been able to accomplish? Or is this something that you kind of deep down knew that you would be able to handle and maintain?
I never thought of it. No, that I'd be able to actually get that far and that I'm able to create my own business. And I always think every day I can do better. And I always think um, I have to grow and make it better. And I'm never done. That's how I feel. I'm always a working project.
With that said, when people are watching your journey and your business career and fitness world, if you had one thing you would say to a woman who wants to be an entrepreneur and start her brand based on your own experience, what do you think is a core ingredient that will help? Everyone's different. I had to always put that disclaimer, but will help someone who's hungry to start their brand and see their business grow.
Mhm. I love this question. And that was like one of my mistakes at the beginning where I can say, don't do that. I always waited for the perfect moment and perfection. And this had to be perfect. And no, literally just start. Progress is better than perfect. And when I just started and nothing was, so to speak, in my eyes, perfect, it started working and it got momentum. And then I added this and I added this and I saw what worked and what didn't work. And in the progress of building the business, I started perfecting it. And like I said, I always want to make it better. And don't wait for the perfect moment. Either start working out, don't wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. And that's with the business as well. Just get started and don't overthink it.
Well, if you've been watching, listening to this, and you want to start your wellness journey, you want to get back into the game, so to speak, then you need to talk to Angela and go visit her website, houseofshape.com. Make sure you check out all the resources that she has. I'm sure she has a lot more that you can probably go through. So while you get ready for the big Christmas dinners and the New Year's gatherings, yeah, after you eat those great meals, make sure you go check out the houseofshape.com and make sure you start your journey correctly and with somebody that can be your accountability coach in 2025. So, with that said, I want to say to you, Angela, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.